Hello. Right. So this is the second module what you are discussing in the last class. Uh, First thing we are going to discuss about the proximity sensors. Right. Can you see this? Okay. The proximity sensors in the sense. So an element that changes either its states or analog signal when it is close to. So it is does not have any physical contact, but the object will be the sensed by using the sensor. Right. So that is called a proximity sensor. That what I mean to say here is a proximity sensor is able to detect a presence of a nearby object without any physical contact. Right, so that is called a proximity sensor. So again, there are some proximity sensors are there. So in that type, so one is a eddy current proximity sensor. Right. So you can see this diagram. Here, you are applying the AC voltage. When you apply the AC voltage here, so the magnetic field will be produced. So again, this is a conducting or the ferromagnetic material is present here. Right. Whenever you apply the AC voltage here, the magnetic field will be produced, and this magnetic field will links with the conducting material, and the eddy current will be induced in the conducting material. Right. So depending upon the distance between this magnetic field and the conducting material, the amount of eddy current will be induced. That means the magnitude of the eddy currents will be induced. Right. So depending upon that magnitude of the eddy currents, we are going to sense that we are going to measure that how much this conducting material is far away from the this coil. Right. So this is what a proximity sensor we are going to see. Are you getting my point? Right. So again, the next sensor is a capacitance. Again, the next is a capacitance current proximity sensor. Here in the capacitance transducer or the proximity sensor, so there are two plates here. The one is a sensor plate and the other one is a object. This is object, that is earth. Right. So now, so what happens here? So I have in between the two plates, there is some, here is a dielectric medium is present. Right. So again, this object is earthed down. So this sensor is moved with the help of some force. Whenever this sensor plate is moved with the help of some force, how far this sensor plate is far away from the object plate we are going to measure here. Right. So whenever this sensor plate is nearby to this object, again, as we know that the C is equal to epsilon A by D. So it depends upon the distance between the sensor plate and the object plate. We are going to measure the distance. That is how much the proximity, how much nearby the object is. So this is how we are going to measure the faraway object, right? So this is the second transducer, whatever we have. The next, people are coming again and again, so at exact time this should come. One second, again I will start screen sharing. So after this proximity sensor, the next sensor is a pneumatic sensor, right? So the pneumatic in the sense, so I hope you see this, right? So we'll make this as for the discussion. The pneumatic sensor that will use the composite air for the measurement of some force. So these pneumatic sensors are used for the measurement of the force or pressure, right? So again, in the pneumatic sensor, we will see some diagrams here. We'll see some diagrams here. whenever, so just I will show the diagram so that you can understand. So here you can see these are the two diagrams. So in the pneumatic sensor, whenever the air is going to flow inside here, so there is no object is present here. Because of there is absence of the object here, the force is very high. So how much you are applying the pressure of the force of the air, so that much amount it will going to exit here. So again, in the second case, I am going to place one object here. Going to place one object here. Whenever there is a air is going to uh, force inside here, so then this object will so because of the presence of the object, the force will be increased, right? The force of the pressure will be increased. Whenever the only thing here is, whenever the object is present, so there will be some, the pressure is very increases. Whenever there is no object is present, the pressure will be more and more. The pressure required is more and more. So that is what the main intention here, right? So the next discussion is a light sensor. So there are three types of light sensor here. So one is the photodiodes, phototransistors, and the photoresistors. The first case is photodiodes. So whenever we are connecting the diodes in a reverse bias manner, the resistance is very increases. Resistance will increases. Because of that, there is a very less current will flows, right? Whenever the light fall on the diode, so what happens? The resistance will be decreases. So then the current flowing through the circuit will increases. So that's how we are going to measure what is the intensity of the light is falling on the diode. Depends upon the amount of the current that is going through the circuit. Right. I hope you are hearing that. The next is a phototransistor. So in this phototransistor, so we are using the transistor so that sense the intensity of the light. So when I connect the transistor in some fashion that is
ಥೋ ಏನ್ ಬರದಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ್ರಂತ ಈಗ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡು.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ? Okay, so this is what module number 2. In that we are going to discuss about a tactile sensor. So in this tactile sensor, so there is some kind of structure has been made. So that the structure is made up of polyvilidin fluoride, that is a PVF2 sheet. So this is what it is like one kind of bund. So that means a top layer and the bottom layer. So in between the top layer and the bottom layer, so in the middle, so the soft film is placed. It is a soft layer is placed. Whenever the AC voltage is applied to the lower layer, what happens? So the reverse piezoelectric effect will comes into existence here. So whenever the AC voltage is applied to the lower layer, so the vibration will be generated, and these vibration will be transferred to the soft film that is placed in between the both upper and the lower layers. And so these vibrations are picked up by the soft film and transmitted to the upper layer, and that will convert to the alternating voltage. And depending upon this, the magnitude of the alternating voltage, we are going to sense what is the shape or the structure of the material. So this is what a tactile sensor. So I hope you understand about the light sensor. So the light sensor, there are three types: photodiodes, a phototransistor, and the photoresistor. A photodiodes, whenever they are operating at a reverse bias manner, the resistance will be high. So then the current flowing through the circuit will be low. Whenever the light falls on the photodiode, the resistance will be lesser and the current will be more. Depending upon the magnitude of the current, we are going to measure what is the intensity of the light. And again, the phototransistor, the same, we are going to operate in a PN collector based PN junction mode. So whenever there is no light, there is a less amount of collector current. Whenever the light is incident on it, the base current will be generated, and this base current will induce the more amount of collector current. So this will happen in case of phototransistor, and the photoresistor will be very easy. So that means whenever the light is less, the resistance will be more, and this resistance will be varying linearly with the intensity of the light. That's it, right? So again, this pneumatic sensor, I hope you got it. So again, the next part is a smart sensor. The smart sensor in the sense, the sensors will include some intelligent nature. So that means the communication and some kind of intelligence will available in the smart sensor. So that is called a smart sensor. So there are some features are available here. The compensation for interfering the inputs. That means we can add some kind of inputs, and also we can make some intelligent technology here, and so we can linearize them. Signal conditioning, what we are going to see, linearism. So this smart sensor, there is a one kind of smart sensor we are going to discuss here, that is the IEEE 1451.2 smart sensor. So there are some 5 modules of the smart sensors are available. So the modules are nothing but STIM, that is a smart transducer interface module. The next thing is what? NCAP, that is a network capable application processor, and TEDS, that is a transducer electronic data sheet, and a TII, that is a transducer independent interface. So what all these modules we'll see one by one here. So the smart transducer interface module is nothing but it can interface any type of transducer to the external world. So that means it is going to have some functions like signal conditioning, signal processing, a pattern recognition. So these kind of functions it is going to do. It will fetch some data from the external sensor, and it will interface to the network. Again, the next module is a transducer electronic data sheet. So this has some kind of information about the sensor. So what is the make of the sensor, what is the model of the sensor, and what are the specifications, how we can calibrate. So like this, and what is the range of that sensor. So these all things are available in the data sheet, that is a transducer electronic data sheet. And the third module is a network capable application processor, NCAP. So this belongs to the completely interfacing. That means it is going to interface some kind of external world, or so these all the modules are present here. This is going to interface all the modules with the different technology or to the external world. The next is a TII, that is a transducer independent interface. This will interface the STIM, this STIM to the NCAP. So again, it is related to the network only. So this is about some kind of sensor. So again, the next part we are going to see here is fiber optic transducer. So here the fiber optic transducers, the optical fiber or optical fibers are used to sense some kind of material here. Some parameters like a temperature, pressure, the flow, or strain, or the particle size can be sensed by using the optical fibers here. Right. So here in the optical fiber transducers, there are two types. One is the extrinsic sensors, and other one is the intrinsic sensor. So in case of extrinsic sensor, the modulation or the intensity modulation happens outside the fiber. Here you can see this. So I hope I will maximize this and you can see clearly. So in this diagram, you can see, so this is the input fiber, and so this is the output fiber, and this is the flow. The flow is nothing but a flow of some fluid, a flow of some liquid or the water, whatever it may be. So in this input power, there is some light is coming. There is some light is coming that will hit this external flow of water or the flow of liquid. Again, the intensity will be due to some particles that is present in the water or the liquid. The intensity will be uh, different. So that intensity will pass to the output fiber. So depending upon this, we are going to measure what is the velocity of this flow. Velocity of the flow we can measure here, right? So this is what external or extrinsic optical fiber. So here this the intensity modulation will takes place outside the fiber, that is called extrinsic sensor. So what we are going to see here is extrinsic in the sense the modulation or the light will be disturbed externally outside the fiber, that is extrinsic. Intrinsic in the sense inside the fiber the intensity will be going to change. So we'll see in the next. Right, so this is the next thing is what? The intrinsic fiber. So as I said that the intrinsic fiber, the intensity modulation will happen inside the within the fiber. So again, I will maximize this. So this is used for the measurement of pressure or whatever it may be. Here the pressure is applied here. Whenever the pressure is applied, so these are the two fibers. So you can see these are the two fibers. The intensity, the light will be, this input light will be passed through this. So here is the output. You can see this is the output, and so here is the input. So the light will be allowed to pass through the input, and so because of some the bend here, the radiation losses will happen. The radiation losses will be happen within the fiber, and so there is some kind of losses will happen in the intensity of the light. Again, so that losses, after the losses, we are going to collect that intensity as output. So depending upon this, so we are going to measure how much pressure is applied on the fiber externally, right? So this is what intrinsic sensor, because why we can call it as intrinsic sensor in the sense, so the light is going inside the fiber, and so the light is distracting, or the variation of some intensity happens inside the fiber. Within the fiber, the radiation loss will happen, right? So the next thing is digital sensors. The digital transducers, we know that always the analog transducers will give the output in a manner that, so the continuous variation of the magnitude with respect to the time, that are analog transducers, right? So in case of digital transducer, we will get the discrete. That means at a particular amount of time, we have the magnitude. That is called a digital transducer output, right? So these digital transducer output in a digital form, so that will give the frequency type of output or the digital coded output. And there are some kind of the range from the frequency generating types to the digital encoders, right? So there are some advantages of the digital transducer. Obtain increase accuracy of this transducer will be very high. So because as compared to the analog in the sense they are varying with respect to the time. So but the digital means at particular time, so we have some kind of magnitude. So that's why the accuracy is more in case of digital transducer. Again, the next part is we can interface this digital transducers to the computers. That means the data manipulation we can do, and we can communicate the whatever the data we have to our remote location. So again, it is easy to transmit the digital signal without distortion and external noise, right? So these are some advantages of having the digital transducers. After the digital, so again, there are some kind of digital transducers we are going to see here. One is electromagnetic frequency domain transducer, optoelectric frequency domain transducer, and the third one is vibrating string transducer. We are seeing one by one here. The first one is what? The electromagnetic frequency domain transducer. Here, so this is what a construction. So just I will maximize this. This is what a construction of electromagnetic frequency domain transducer. Here we have the tooth gear made up of a ferromagnetic material. Again, here the magnet. So to this magnet, I am going to supply some voltage here. So when I apply the AC voltage here, the magnetic flux or the magnetic field will be produced. This magnetic field will links with this tooth geared ferromagnetic material. So as I explained in the class, so when this is rotating with the help of some force or the torque, so this teeth will cut the magnetic flux, and depending upon that, the flux increases, the pulse will be generated. So depending upon these pulses, we are going to sense or we are going to measure what is the speed of this tooth gear material. So that means a shaft. You can take it as a shaft, right? So again, the next is optoelectric frequency domain transducer. So for more clarity, we will see one diagram here. So this is, you can, I hope we can see it better. Right, so this is what our optoelectric digital transducer. Here is a light source is present, and so here is the output we are going to take. Here the linear motion. So we are going to use some shaft or some whatever the motion, whatever the moving object we can measure. This is what a transparent scale is attached on it, right? Whenever the light is, this light will be allowed to pass through this. So here is a slit is present. Slit in the sense a small hole is present, right? So whenever this light will hit this, so this is a transparent scale. So because of this light will pass through the transparent scale here. So whatever this gap, whenever the gap is there, so through that gap and through this hole, the light will be passed, and the photoelectric transducer will detect that light. So for example, you can see whenever it is going to see about, so you can see here. So I take this as a shaft now. This is a shaft. So this shaft will be, one side is a darker portion and the other side is a lighter portion. When the light is allowed to face on it, so whenever the darker portion is there, the light will not be reflected. So this lighter portion, the light is reflected, and so this is a photoelectric transducer will catch that reflected light, and that will generate the pulses. Depending upon the pulses, we are going to sense what is the rotation of this shaft, what is the speed of that shaft, right? This is what our photoelectric frequency domain transducer, right? So after this, the next transducer, the digital transducer is the vibrating string transducer. So again, so I will go with the same diagram, so it is a very clear. So here we are going to use one metal string here. So this is a metal string. So here is a fixed end, and so other end is moving end. So we are going to apply the force here, right? So when I apply the force here, so this metal string will vibrate, and this vibration will be catched up by the electromagnetic transducer, and this vibration will be catched up by the electromagnetic transducer, and the vibration will be amplified, and this vibration will be again goes to the electromagnetic vibration generator, and this generator will see that whether whatever the frequency of this vibration will match the natural frequency or not. So depending upon that frequency, it is going to measure the how much the force is applied on this metal string. This is what we are going to use as a digital transducer, one type of digital transducer in order to measure a force, right? So with respect to this is what a second module up to digital transducer. And so again I will cover next thing also. First that again the next thing is what a smart pressure transmitters. Smart pressure transmitters. So again we will take this in the next class, right? Hello, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again one more announcement is there. Hello.
No.
One more announcement is here.